everybody. How are we all doing this beautiful evening? A very good evening from Nigeria. My name is Kolola Ladipo, and I will be your host for tonight's webinar. If you can hear me loud and clear, please give me a thumbs up. Wave at me. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know where you're joining from. We're gonna start at exactly 4. Let's give a little more window of about 3 minutes. And then we have more people joining, and then we'll kickstart the webinar. So please enjoy the jazz, find the comfortable position to sit, whether in your car, at home, on your bed. Make sure you're as relaxed as much as possible. And then we dive into it. Okay? Right. Welcome back. I want to say welcome again to everybody, wherever you're joining from, whether from Africa, outside Africa, Nigeria, wherever you're joining from. Thank you so much for making out the time to be with us today. It's such an honor. It's such a joy, to be your host today. It's been a rainy day in Lagos here. It's been a very kind of cool, cozy, kind of day. And it just goes to show that weekend has started fully. And so while we wait for more and more people to join in, this is a very good time to invite your friends and your colleagues, send them a nudge, send them a reminder, let them know, that they registered for this and now it has started. But while we wait for some other people, I'd like to, just share some polls with us. And so you get to answer. So when I share the poll, it's going to pop up on your screen, and then you just get to interact with that poll. Okay, so we have one now. It says, what is your profession? Are you joining us as an architect? Are you an interior designer? Are you a student? Are you a design enthusiast? You can just go ahead and select the one that that you identify with, and then we're going to publish the results. So I'll just give about maybe 1 more minute, and then we'll publish the result. Okay? Go on. Let's make it as interactive as possible. If you have trouble viewing this at any point in time, we also have this on YouTube. And so I'm just going to post the YouTube link. Yeah, let me put in the YouTube link over there. The YouTube link is coming up right now. YouTube link is coming up in a minute. You're going to get it. You're going to get it as soon as possible. Okay. So let's see the results for the poll. Are you an architect, an interior designer? I'm posting the results now. So wow, we have 77% architects. We have about 10% interior designers. We have 10% students, which is good. And then we have the design enthusiasts, about 2%. Okay, so we welcome everybody once again. Give me a thumbs up, wave at me, let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Let's know what part of the world you're joining from. And also, you know, we can make this some sort of networking opportunity. If at any point in time you are joining us later, you can always go to the poll section and then you see some of the polls that we are sharing. I'm going to put up another poll right away. Let me just share my screen. Where are you? Where's the poll? Okay, so this poll says, would you rather? Would you rather? So look at the screen and then you can go to the polls and then let me know which one you would rather design. Would you rather design a skyscraper that's going to be a landmark building, or would you rather design a bustling, or rather a serene, eco-friendly retreat in a remote location? Excellent. I love the energy here. A lot of people are already voting. Beautiful, beautiful. So far we have 50% skyscraper, 50% retreat. Let's see how many people are going to help us break that tie. Go on, go on, go on. Don't forget to share the link with your friends, with your colleagues, anyone you think will benefit from this webinar. This will be a very good time, to share with them. Okay, so let me see the results. Okay, let me publish that result. Well, we'll go to the next poll. There's another poll right here. Please look at the screen. We have another poll coming up. Would you rather spend time in the studio designing or on site overseeing the construction process? Okay, go for it, go for it, go for it. I love the energy. Beautiful, beautiful, excellent. Okay, so more people are saying on site. Where are our designers? What happened to the creative juices? Why don't you want to be in the studio? Excellent, excellent. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to publish the result now. If you feel like you want to change your mind or you want to participate in the polls later on, you can always go to the polls section and then you see the list of polls right there. I'm just going to give you a few more minutes so you can get comfortable with the interface of Zoho. I know a lot of people are not familiar with Zoho. We all know Zoom, we know Google Meet, or maybe Microsoft Teams. But Zoho is also a very user-friendly platform, as you must have seen. On your screen over there, you see the number of attendees who have joined. You see the Q&A section, so you can craft your questions, as we go along. Whatever questions you have, you can put it in there. Make it as brief and as concise as possible so we can easily identify your questions. And like I said, if you have any trouble, you can go to the YouTube page. We have this running live stream as well. Or if you would like to, get more interactive, you can go to the poll section and click the polls. Okay. So we've started live right now. We've fully started. And so right now, the next thing coming up is a brief 1-minute video introducing the subject of artificial intelligence in design. Okay, so enjoy. Give me a minute while I share my screen, and then you can enjoy the video.
Knowledge is a set of facts and rule sets based on experience, and different experiences can produce different knowledge sets. And so we are now entering a topic of discussion that is as old as civilization, which is how to define truth. You may be familiar with Plato's allegory of the cave thought experiment or his theory of forms proposition. Both are exercises in questioning how we observe or qualify truth. And here again, we are faced with the overwhelming task of assigning value and defining objects, spaces, emotions, and faces only one-dimensionally through natural language text prompting. We are leaning on AI to establish non-negotiables, which Plato called forms, by training AI to recognize hundreds or millions of forms that enable us to generate what Plato then called particulates, or what we describe as iterations or generations from those known forms. AI is like a child with infinite knowledge. Knowledge is a set of facts and rule sets based on experience, and different experiences can produce different knowledge sets. And so we are now entering a topic of discussion that is as old as civilization, which is how to define truth. You may be familiar with Plato's allegory of the cave thought experiment or his theory of forms proposition. Both were exercises in questioning how we observe or qualify truth. And here again, we are faced with the overwhelming task of assigning value and defining objects, spaces, emotions, and faces only one-dimensionally through natural language text prompting. We are leaning on AI to establish non-negotiables, which Plato called forms, by training AI to recognize hundreds or millions of forms that enable us to generate what Plato then called particulates, or what we describe as.
Okay, so that was just a brief intro, to just get us in the spirit of artificial intelligence and AI. Okay, so I'm just going to give a brief welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our AI webinar specifically for architects and designers. Just over a week ago, I had the privilege of speaking with our guest architect today about integrating artificial intelligence into the design process. And today I have the pleasure of doing the same with all of you. We've seen an incredible sign up from students, architects, designers, and businesses at the back end. And so speaking to such a diverse network of professionals today can be challenging, but also absolutely refreshing. The energy during registration was unmatched, and hosting you today is an honor I don't take for granted at all. I am thrilled to have all of you here, and I appreciate your commitment to staying ahead of the curve in a rapidly evolving design landscape. Your presence here signifies your dedication to not just keeping up, but leading in the integration of technology within the construction industry. As I mentioned in our Instagram live session that was about 2 weeks ago, the world of design is changing at an unprecedented pace. Tools and techniques that were once revolutionary, talk of Autodesk, Revit, they are now being transformed by artificial intelligence, offering us new possibilities and efficiencies that were unimaginable just a few years ago. Today, we stand on the brink of a new era where AI is not just an addition to our toolboxes, but a fundamental element that reshapes our entire approach to design. For the students among us, I want to emphasize how fortunate you are to have this opportunity. When we were in your shoes, there was a significant gap between academia and professional practice. We had to navigate these waters on our own. And so this webinar is your first step toward bridging that gap, providing you with insights that will make you more adaptable and prepared for the professional world. Embracing AI now will give you a competitive edge and ensure you're ready to meet the demands of the industry. For businesses, understanding and utilizing AI tools is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. The ability to streamline and accelerate the design process not only saves valuable time, but also positions your firm as a forward-thinking leader in the eyes of your clients. By mastering these technologies, you can deliver more innovative solutions, you can respond to clients' needs faster, and ultimately win more projects. I mean, who doesn't want that? And so we're here to explore how AI can be a catalyst for innovation in our design practices. Whether you're a seasoned professional, a business leader, or a student just starting your journey, our goal for today is to provide you with practical knowledge and actionable insights that you can take back and apply immediately into your work. I must also mention that history has taught us valuable lessons about embracing technological change. During the Industrial Revolution, weavers who failed to adopt new weaving technologies lost their livelihoods to those who were more adaptable. And so today we find ourselves at a similar crossroads. Architects and designers must embrace the AI revolution or risk being left behind as the industry evolves without them. I encourage you to engage fully with today's session, ask questions, and think about how you can integrate these new tools into your project. Talk about DALL-E 3, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, how you can integrate all these new softwares into your projects and workflows. This is your first step toward not just keeping up with change, but driving it. And we're looking forward to design leaders coming out of this. And so we can all harness the power of AI to create designs that are not only beautiful and functional, but also intelligent and responsive to the needs of our world. Thank you for being here again. Welcome once again. Please feel comfortable, find a comfortable spot, and let's get started and see how far we can go. Coming up next, do you want to give me a round of applause? That was a lovely welcome address, wasn't it? Okay, so coming up next is an exclusive interview with Tim Fu. Tim Fu is a former architect at Zaha Hadid, and we're going to listen to him as he discusses the superiority of Midjourney as an AI software.
Visually superior. Its designs are more resolved, and it's creating geometries that are realizable, because a lot of other AIs kind of make sense on a local level, but then when you look at it, is this like a concave or convex? Like, things don't make sense except from afar. So I don't know how they did it, but the Midjourney team really created its own sort of, proprietary machine algorithm that surpasses all the competitors right now. And I've also just tested DALL-E 3 recently, and it's improved a lot since its old DALL-E version, but it's also not superior to Midjourney as of yet. I tell students not to be grammatically correct because you're wasting like word real estate, if you will. And so you have to have this sort of practice where you are not just typing out what you want, like you're talking to a person, but you are imagining the querying results that you get as you would with Googling an image. So because it works as query, so then you're able to understand what type of search results is going to be predominant for the algorithm to learn. And from there, you have to imagine all those local cluster of words. If it coheses together, what type of image it would result. You can control it. It's fine tuning, and you can control the direction. You can nudge it to a certain space. So instead of like how I work with DALL-E, where you describe what you want and just hope for the best, here with the Journey is a process of fine tuning and controlling, which is something that you cannot find with DALL-E 3, because you're still being forced to create something completely new every single time you prompt something. Whereas here with Midjourney, it's really for the advanced users. And beyond that, what Midjourney can also do is correct local areas. Like, you can select the certain areas that needs to be refined. For example, you can see like there's a lack of finesse with the stair as well as the corner. And then you can just ask it to fix those certain areas. And so that's a degree of control that DALL-E does not have, and only Midjourney has.
Okay, so that video was just to sensitize you about a particular software. I don't know how many people here know about softwares. So I'm just gonna put a poll, asking you what softwares you currently use. So I've put a post right there. So please engage with that poll. Our guest architect is already here. Our guest speaker for today is here, is ready, is excited to be with us, and so I'm just gonna give a few seconds, a few minutes to let everybody interact with that poll so we know what software you currently use. Okay, keep it coming, keep it coming. I love the energy. Okay, a lot of people are familiar with Revit, Autodesk. A few, 3% know about Midjourney. And then I'm going to bring up our guest architect right about now. His name is Cosimo. I'm just going to read his bio. And then after my voice, the next person you're going to hear speak is going to be our guest architect today. I don't know how many people here know about MVRDV. MVRDV is a big deal in Europe, right? Like they're that huge. When you're talking about Zaha Hadid, then you want to mention MVRDV. If you check the Q&A section, we're going to post the link to some of our guest architects' work, so you can also, take a look after today. But right now, Cosimo Scotucci is an architect and innovator. In case you're wondering where he's from, he's Italian, okay? But he works in the Netherlands, right? Through his works, and I must also mention MVRDV, they have branches all over the world, right? They have in Asia, they have in Australia, they have in Netherlands, so you can read more about them, but I'm just going to keep it here. Through his works, he reflects an ideology that focuses on people envisioning the world tomorrow. He defines himself as an optimistic idealist. In 2016, he joined MVRDV Architects in Rotterdam. Within MVRDV, Cosimo oversees projects in the Asia studio with a specific focus on people-centered design, sustainability, and circular design. Since he joined MVRDV, he has successfully contributed to realizing projects in mainland China and Taiwan. He always strives for the most visionary and sustainable solutions. His work is an investigation into radical design. In 2019, he founded Cosimo's Scotucci studio, where he works together with a multidisciplinary team on speculative design, tackling the biggest issues in society. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm welcome, a thumbs up, a wave, please make welcome our guest architect for today, Cosimo Scotucci. You have the floor, and then after you are going to take the Q&A. Over to you.
Bolola. Yeah, thanks for the very kind introduction. Always, it's always fantastic to talk to you. And I must say this webinar is like perfectly organized. I love it. And I mean, the word you already shared with us and the messages we already heard, I think give like a big overview on how the world is going to change. Actually, the world is changing while we speak with this new tool that we couldn't imagine like a couple of years ago. And I think this is about the tools you have shared. I think we're talking about a tool that enables us to both design a resort and a skyscraper almost simultaneously. And it's a tool that will enable us to be on construction design more because the design process will smoothen up, and it will become faster and easier. So I think, as you said, we are in a very crucial moment in time where our life will change completely. I mean, we see these changes already because AI is all around us, in the music we listen to, in the story we read, and obviously we cannot think that architecture is somehow neglected. So application of AI will, like the AI applies over every field. But then yeah, I'll share my screen. Let me know if you see it. Give me a second.
While you share your screen, it would be nice to know what you did before you joined MVRDV. What were you doing before you joined MVRDV?
Yeah, so I've been studying in Rome, architecture and urbanism, and then after that I have opened an office with a great friend of mine, like a brilliant mind, Paolo Venturella, and he basically teach me everything I know on Rhino, Grasshopper, and I mean, together we did like something like 120 competition. We won a few. It was very intense moment of my life, and it was like a beautiful moment of my life. And then from there I moved to Paris in former OMA partner, associate, and then there I like also I think I start growing my international career, also like my international view on the world. And then yeah, I received the call from MVRDV, and these are the kind of opportunity you cannot say no to. And then I think we spoke over the phone on Thursday, and Monday morning I was already in the office working. So it was, and then this changed my life. I mean, being in the Netherlands gave me a completely different perspective on the world. It gave me a completely different perspective on what architecture can do and what architecture means. Architecture with a capital A. So I've been in the architecture business already for something like maybe 12, 13 years. And then I remember like seeing Revit, crashing into the market, for instance, thinking that it was, great revolution for the field. Sorry, for the field, but it's nothing compared to what we're talking about today here. So something that I think the world as we know it won't exist anymore. As simple as that. Is it enough on my past? I mean, I've done also other many things. Like I opened a startup in Rome to produce clean energy and social interaction on existing urban furniture. So the idea was to plug things on benches and lampposts and signs, to make them smart. The idea was to use obviously renewable energy to somehow, provide the people with free Wi-Fi, music boosters, connection to like electricity and stuff like that. And but then like with MVRDV and my personal growth, I open up my own practice, as you said, and I'm focusing on the issues that surround us. I've designed 2 pavilions for social distancing during a COVID time. I've designed a piece of infrastructure that generates clean water without spending a single watt of energy, and it's absolutely carbon neutral. So this, I find it like a game changer in the future issues of our life in general on the planet, and and many more. Please go and check on my website. You will find something that some things that I find interesting. I mean, we all wake up in the morning, we read the newspaper, we see the world around us that, and we're surrounded by troubles. climate change is threatening life as we know it on this planet, and we must act. That's my motto. That's what I like keep repeating myself. And then as designer, as architects, as creatives, we have the power to envision today the world we want to live in tomorrow, right? So whenever we do a project, it will take a few years to be built, or a few days, few months, depends on the scale. But yet, I do believe that everything we do, must be driven for a better world of tomorrow, a world that is more democratic, a world that is more resilient, a world that is cooler in terms of global temperature.
Okay, so let's dive right into it. Go on.
Absolutely. Okay, let me see. It's loading. Let me know as soon as you see the screen. Do you see the screen now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, wonderful. So in line with what we heard a second ago, I mean, I will give you guys a little intro on AI, what you can do with AI, and in particular, what you can do with Midjourney. I also do find it the most, easy AI to use, to control, and I find it extremely versatile. That's exactly the why I picked this AI and try to dive and learn everything that it could do, because simply it can help you do everything. Like I've been working on iteration. So simply whenever we've been discussing before about the skyscraper, and then easily you can generate iteration test in a blink of an eye. So it gives you the power of 100 men in a second. And then obviously you can generate buildings. You can generate all type of building, from residential to cultural building, from little scale to large scale. Obviously you can design pavilion, like I've done a few workshops on this already. And it's fine. It's wonderful to see how you can generate sexy and meaningful design in a blink of an eye. And obviously also apply to interiors. This is a project I've submitted a few months ago. It's and then I mean the whole thing was about controlling the shade, making sure that everything was in place. And then obviously can also give you the possibility to test different facades. So what you see here, it's a similar volume that then has different treatment. So, and I think the profession is changing. I mean, instead of modeling all of those things, you need to be able to express your wishes to a being that need to somehow absorb it, metabolize it, and giving it back to you. So I think that is the biggest change we will face in our profession in the coming years. So being able to learn how to speak and control these devices. Obviously, can even generate floor plans with like a decent accuracy with your design. You are able also to somehow improve graphically sketch you can do by hand or with like I know like from the previous pool, a lot of people familiar with Revit and Rhino and AutoCAD, and then you can take all these things you produce there, drop it in AI, and get like all these beautiful graphics. And obviously you can do any scale. I mean that's the beauty of it. You can imagine like full cities, even with like the smallest team. So this will give you the chance to design million of square meter overnight, basically. And then I think this is the part I like the most. I think this is why I got intrigued the first with Midjourney, with AI in general, it enables us to have a vision, So sometimes, like especially as an architect, we're driven by these dreams of ours, and then with Midjourney, with AI, we're enabled to just immediately visualize it, keep changing, keep refining, keep testing, keep failing in a way, but also succeeding, right? Because the process is so fast, so good, so smooth that eventually you can visualize your dream with a little bit of work. And obviously you can also do maquettes. I mean, you can imagine, like, whatever you can imagine, that you can make. So sometimes, like, I managed to put like 3D model in there and then get out like a physical, like the image of a physical maquette, right? So this is sometimes like impress clients. So the client loves to see maquettes, but then we don't need to waste time in doing them. We don't need to waste materials and effort. We can just possibly generate them, and I'm sure that in little time we will be able to show holograms to our client of maquettes. So as I was saying, like AI, and also as we heard before in the second video, AI is a lot of things. AI is not just Midjourney. AI is Stable Diffusion. AI is ChatGPT. AI is like many software, DALL-E and others. So I will show you maybe now, I think in practice, what we heard in the second video. So it's how to control, how to being able to, being the pilot of the car. That's the thing. So like AI per se, it's, like headless chicken running around. So you should be able to guide it. Otherwise, the result you get are like unpredictable, completely far from what you expect. And I'll give you like a demonstration. So I think this, for me, is the most, detailed and accurate description of what the design process is. So when you start, you think everything is smooth. So it starts with like a straight line, but then everything, as soon as you start talking to people, dive into the brief, talking to your client, understanding the constraints of the site, the geopolitical, surrounding environment the project is sitting in, everything becomes like a chaotic. And then, this is basically and then eventually, again, this little line, this little fil rouge, managed to smoothen up again. So you have ripples here and there because the nature of design and architecture. But yet I do think that in every like in certain moment of this design process, AI can come and help us. And this is what I've been saying before. So here I try to put like the type of AI I use the most during the design process. So and as you see on like the Midjourney is the one that is the most present and is the one that like enables you to do different things, obviously, and like day by day the engineers behind the Midjourney are improving it according to our wishes, according to our comment, and according to our feedback to make it better. So I do see, and I can like imagine easily that Midjourney can do also the latest part of the process. But so I'll take you through different type of things. So yeah, I got intrigued by this eroded rock kind of texture, and then I was wondering if I could build like a tower with the quality of it, right? And then as you can see on the right, so this is very little testing, maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes. So I was able to translate the pattern into a design and then place it in New York City, on a picture I've taken there. So it's amazing how fast you can see and prove your concept. Again, you can generate your own references. and this is beautiful. And then Midjourney page automatically categorize things by date, by prompt, by interaction. So what you see here is basically their work, and you see how my thoughts somehow evolved over time, and somehow I managed to steer the result from a image to another. And or again, so you can so this is a tool that can help you conceptualize or visualize your thoughts. So you can transform like a end sketch, something that is quickly done into something graphically pleasing that you can already submit to your client. That is something that enables you to discuss with your team. And all of us are able to do what's on the left, but I believe few of us can do what's on the right. And then lastly, it's also helps us testing different things. Like as you see here is the same interior space, but then with different qualities and different kind of atmospheres. And then we can control all these things by simply changing our wording, being sure that our prompts are correct. And lastly, I think this is also why Midjourney became famous to begin with, is enables us to visualize and render our like dreams, our projects, our beliefs. So I want to take you into my latest design. So this will be released in a couple of days. So I also wanted to give you like a preview of like my workflow, or the way you can interact with Midjourney. I try to give it like a little bit of a light-hearted twist. Hope you enjoyed. So I started my research asking ChatGPT what are the energy requirements for Italy in 2025. So we know this is like a pressing issue for the whole world, and basically what I got back is like a full description of the goals and the targets Italy has according to certain standards and laws and agreements. Yet ChatGPT need to be proven. So whatever you get out of it, please don't take it for granted. Go and do your research, but it's a good starting point for testing your thoughts, getting some easy information. So once I ask how to make the salami stick on the pizza, and then he suggested glue. That's what I'm talking about. And then obviously, so when I got this data, I've been thinking, okay, so what does it mean in terms of solar panel, size? And then again, Midjourney provided me with like a kind of a basic sort of call equation, and then eventually I like my goal was to put like 1 billion and 1 billion and then 2 million square meter of solar panels in Italy, to somehow offset the energy requirements of the nation. But then, as like many of you know, the land in Italy is scarce and mostly used for farming, forest, urbanism, and transportation. So, I mean, this seemed to be a little impossible task I set for myself. But then I said, like, okay, is there any other space in this beautiful nation I can make use of? And then obviously I thought of the sea, right? So, and then I asked Midjourney to generate me an archipelago of islands fully covered with solar panels off the shore of Italy. So as you see, the shores of Italy are wonderfully depicted, but then this archipelago of solar panels somehow got, so it got like some freedom in putting architecture, some other example, especially the one on the upper left, it looks like a resort. It's nothing to do with energy production. It's nothing to do with what I asked for. And then in all of them, architecture is somehow present or too present. So with some tweaking, I've been saying what you see on the left. So no architecture, please. So take everything out. And then the results are prettier and more already closer to what I want. Yet you see that the background it's somehow fading away. That beautiful context it's almost gone. And then with the extra test, I wanted to enlarge and scale up these things. But then yet what I got, it's like an archipelago of, like, I don't know, somewhere in New Zealand or God knows. So at first we managed to have Italy, and then little by little trying to focus on the highlands. I lost the Italy factor, right? But then I'm getting the highlands, right? And this covered the highlands for solar panel. And then trying to scale up this little island and trying to get like something a little bit more large scale, as I imagined, because again we need to cover 1 billion square meter. I try to get like larger islands, but then yet again I got architecture again, and then I was like, okay, but we can fix this easily. And then I got rid of the architecture, and then as you see, the background got improving already. You see something that looks like Naples, I would say, or Sicily. So it's not bad, but then the previous one was better, right? We all agree on that. So, and then like changing a little bit, it brought me again on an image that is, almost 99% what I wanted, like big archipelagos, like large island, fully covered on solar panels, no architecture whatsoever, mountains and cities in the background. So I liked it, but then yet I thought that maybe the shape of these islands could be a little better. It feels like they're not really designed in a way. And then trying to get back the original images of the background. So this really looks like a nostalgic kind of picture of Italy in the background. I got what I wanted, but then for some reason the solar panel got messed up. But then these things we can fix easy. And then eventually I got to my final point, my final result, where the islands are big, all the architecture disappear, the vegetation is not messing up with the solar panels. You see the beautiful skylines on the mountain on the background, and everything, and I was extremely happy. And now from this I took it and I start generating extra images, and so I have a different perspective of the same project basically. So, and then I call this the Solar Archipelago. Just when you do a architecture project or a vision, you always need a sexy name. Hope you liked it, guys. And that's I think I will like to open it up to the floor and see if you guys have any questions.
Okay, thank you so much for that beautiful presentation, Cosimo. Before we go into the Q&A, I know a lot of people here already have questions. How are we going to build? So Midjourney is going to do the design, but how are we going to successfully build these designs? I'd like you to touch back on something, Cosimo, which is now you have shown us what you can do with these softwares. But when it comes to project teams, well, I know you, for example, you lead projects, you lead teams of 20, teams of 25, and you do that for your competitions and for these huge projects. Can you take us through how that goes? Like if I have a concept, you have a concept, another person has a concept. How do you tie all of that in to bring about the solid design for your presentations and competitions?
Yeah, I mean, yes, in general, yes, it's always like that. So we start putting together. I think it's like I've shown this kind of diagram of design, and I think when the project starts, everybody brings their own beliefs, their own like background into the project. So it's, for me, the most important and interesting part of the project. Like when the two of us talk, so I might have good ideas, you might have good ideas, but then I'm sure that if we talk to each other, we will have like a better ideas, right? So when we combine your strong point to my strong point, and we somehow prune, my weak points and your weak points, the whole project get better, right? And it's not an easy task to somehow orchestrate like such a big team with such a crazy project, with such demanding client and everything. So it's extremely difficult, but yet with this tool you can somehow be faster, right? So because you can visualize your own idea without spending too much time on Rhino, 3D, 2D sketching. It's basically sketching on steroid. This is something that like made us architects. So when architecture as a profession started, we've been drawing the project on sand or on land, right? And then eventually we transformed this into like paper, sketching things on media that can be transported and given to others, and stay no matter what the weather condition. And then I think now we are given a tool that enable us to do that on steroid. So to almost see the final product, it's basically we need to retro engineer what we see. It just, we can visualize our dreams, and then we need to go back to the project. So while before it was like, okay, we can sketch these things and then eventually build it up to where we want to get.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have a question on the screen. I don't know if you can see the question as well.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so go on, please answer.
No, yeah, I don't know where to find them anymore, because which architecture software can we use, like ChatGPT? I would say ChatGPT. So it's free, and it can generate images, can generate text. Why you want another one? ChatGPT just simply outperform most of them. So I would say ChatGPT is great. Yet you need to double check the facts you're getting out of it.
Excellent. I have another question. Can you see it? It's projected on the screen. It says, are there other architecture AI aided software besides Midjourney? This person is just curious, please.
Yeah. So there are many. I mean, if you check Instagram or the web in general, like these things pops out like mushrooms. I would say the other big one is obviously Stable Diffusion. Different from Midjourney, completely different from Midjourney. You can do different things. I mean, the kind of accuracy is much bigger, it's much better, but the vision, it's much smaller. So depending on the phase of and it's completely free again. So that's the beauty of Stable Diffusion. And then there are like Render Eye. I know that you can just simply put a sketch in, and then you will get like a full visualization of your project, again, like text prompting plus image. Now all these AI software are developing like a sort of combination between images and text. So this help you also in Midjourney, for instance. I mean, there are like different techniques. I mean, now it's impossible to tell all about it, but there are a lot of techniques. I know how to somehow merge words and images, references, and text, to create what you really want. Because again, we need to be the pilot of the car. We cannot let Midjourney or any other AI just simply go by themselves.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have a couple of attendees raising up their hands. If you would like to speak, we want to try to make it as interactive as possible. So if you would like to speak, please signify by raising your hands. I already have 4 attendees have raised up their hands. And so I'm going to call your name, and then I'm going to ask you to speak. I'm going to unmute you from this side, and then I'm going to allow you to talk. Okay, so Mr. Adeleke, are you ready with your question? Mr. Adegboyega, are you ready with your question? Hello, are you there? Okay, so let's move on to Mr. Adeleke. Mr. Adeleke, if you can hear me, are you ready with your question? Please go ahead and speak. Hello, are you over there?
Maybe in the meantime, I can also answer the other question I see on the chat.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So how original AI design can be? Yeah, I mean it's 100% original in the sense that every time, even if you do the same prompting like 10 times, you will get 10 different images. So every second you will get a different image, and then by simply changing this is called prompt engineering, and this is something that as an architect we need to master in the future. It's how can we type a prompt that really makes what we need, and because otherwise the AI keep generating different images. The AI doesn't know what's wrong or right, doesn't know what we like or not, right? So it's about us being able to control the tool, right? And then there are ways of doing it. You can steer, as you've seen with this Little Island project that I was showing. It keeps. I mean, you need to explain what architecture is, to take it out. You need to know how to take out things from an image. Otherwise, you won't be able to get what you want. That's the thing. And what makes Midjourney different from Stable Diffusion? Is it Midjourney free? No, Midjourney is not free. Stable Diffusion is, but then Midjourney operates online while Stable Diffusion operates on your own computer. So you need to have a pretty decent computer to work with Midjourney, which is extremely heavy. Believe me, it's not the most RAM friendly software I've ever used. So the thing is, with Midjourney, you can't really imagine things, right? So you can do vision. You cannot simply get dream projects out of it. So it's more about controlling, I don't know, we imagine like a sketch you make, and then from there you can translate it into like a rendering, right? But that's basically what it does. You can change material, you can change color, you can help yourself changing the style of an image, transforming like a daylight view to a night view, right? So this is basically what Stable Diffusion can do, while Midjourney has, to me, like a broader use. So you can really do whatever you want. You can generate. So Midjourney generates images, and basically then enables you to generate whatever can be delivered as an image, which I believe it's almost everything. So, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, just 1% of the people here have tried it, but I must say that he hooked me from the first second I use it, because sincerely is about having a tool that goes beyond imagination, right? You really ask for something and then you get it back in a blink of an eye. And you can do it from any type of computer. You don't need to have a professional computer, right? Like the super expensive computer. You can do it from your own computer, like laptop, whatever, and and then give you the power of a million men. I don't know how to say it better than this.
Okay, we have more questions. There's another question.
Yes.
From Favor. Favor says, when generating a particular elevation or 3D visualization, can it also generate the floor plan of that particular image or 3D?
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I think we're getting there in a sense that the currency is becoming much, much better. So, and then like the reference is becoming like much, much better. There are ways, obviously, to control these, but then yes, it's basically what Midjourney improved over time. So at first it was impossible to get two similar images. Now it's rather easy, you know, to have consistencies over images. So I've done a few workshops, and then with this, it was amazing to see how we started like with the image, with a concept. We generated one image, and from that image, we generated everything else, like the floor plan, the section, the elevation, other renders, diagrams, and everything. So that's it's coming up, and if you know how to do it, yes, you can get something pretty decently close.
Okay, so which of these AI softwares would you recommend for a beginner, for a starter?
Yeah, Midjourney is surely the most rewarding one, in a sense that is the one that like you get like 25 iterations for free with an account. So I strongly suggest you guys to try. And then with these 25 images, you see how easy it is to somehow visualize your ideas. Yet I'm sure that with your 25 iteration, you won't be able to get what you want. You can get surprised, I'm sure, but I'm sure you also you can get what you want. So that's why you know, there are people behind doing research, trying these tools every day, like the methodology, how to, you know, get what you want, somehow have this consistency in the images we were talking a minute ago.
Okay, so before we go right into the next item on today's agenda, I have a personal question of my own, and I'm going to make it a poll as well. So I'm just going to start it right now. The question is, will AI replace architects? Will AI replace architects? So please feel free to jump right in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please vote right now. I'm also sharing my screen. Will AI replace architects? I think not. An architect using AI will, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Go on, go on, go on. I love the energy. Ooh, we have about 30 people voted. Okay. We have about 80 people on this call. So let's try to get as many votes in as possible. And then we'll let our guest architect drop a thought on this particular question. Okay. We have over 50 voted. Okay, how is the network over there? Let's try to push it up as much as 70, and then I'm going to publish the results to everybody. Go on, go on, go on. Go on, go on, go on. Okay, so let me publish the result now. So 94% of our attendees do not think that AI will replace architects. I share the same sentiment. I don't think AI will replace architects, but it's an essential tool that you should have. Cosimo, do you want to chip in right here?
Absolutely, 100% agree. I don't think we will be replaced. I mean, it's pretty much saying that you know, when the internet came out, it's saying that the internet will replace books, right? So because the same information are online on the books, but I don't see the books disappearing, you know. So yeah, no way we got replaced.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cosimo, for this beautiful session. I hope you're going to stay with us till the end of the webinar.
Absolutely.
But right
Thanks
now,
for
we
having
must
me.
move on to the next agenda. And so now we want to talk about Midjourney as a software. Our guest architect has talked and spoken so much at length as why Midjourney is superior to these other softwares. And so right now, I want to bring up somebody that you must listen to. If you haven't listened to this person in a lifetime, you just have to look for him, Google him, go to the LinkedIn page and listen to him speak. Follow him, listen to what he has done, look at what he's doing. I'm going to share his bio right now. And the next voice you hear after mine will be that of our Dr. Tosan. He's a global program director at Black Swan Technology Limited. Is the mobile technology consultant for West African NGO Network. Is the global public health specialist at Sinagos, Nigeria. Is a research analyst with a big portfolio since about 2010, 2009 for the British Council, the MacArthur Foundation, and the Department for International Development, United Kingdom Aid. This is just a little bit about what he has done, but I'm going to leave the floor for him right now so we can hear from him. Dr. Tosan, over to you.
Wow, Folola, thank you so much for that fantastic intro. I after listening to you, I want to hear myself speak. Isn't that very? So I'm excited to be here and really grateful for the opportunity. It was deeply fascinating to hear Cosmos share about his work, his passion, and his super intriguing vision of the profession, architecture, and his own take, his own unique take on these technologies and how they impact our lives. I've been doing work with artificial intelligence since 2016, and essentially, my goal here in this conversation is to sort of localize the potential of this tool in our local context. Sort of like to potentiate what these tools can actually do for you as a Nigerian, as an African in a sub-Saharan context. And I'm going to do that using a few projects to index the capacity of some of these tools to address really intricate adaptive challenges that are unique to us as Nigerians in Nigeria, right? So one of the first projects I'm going to use as an index case to illustrate the conversation is a product that my startup deployed in rural northwestern Nigeria, Sokoto State, Bauchi, and Kebbi. So in 2015, Nigeria's routine immunization challenges were significant enough to reverse global health progress in the eradication of polio. And understandably, this was a very significant event. The world had invested, over the previous 2 decades, invested resources in trying to eradicate polio from the world. And polio was left in about 2 countries. One was Nigeria, and the second one was Afghanistan. They had succeeded in the previous year in eradicating polio from Afghanistan, and the goal for 2015, 2016 was to eradicate polio in Nigeria. And so international partners, Nigerian government, the health department at the federal and state levels were all indexed on doing this. They had procured vaccines, they had trained healthcare workers, they had built healthcare facilities, but in certain parts of the country, polio persisted for a very simple reason. For some reason, people didn't go to the healthcare facilities for their vaccination. And despite all the campaigns to encourage people to participate, to bring their children for vaccinations, which were free, people weren't showing up. And so the question was, what technological challenge, what technological innovation could be deployed that would increase the demand for routine immunization where advertisement campaigns had failed? And it was important for this innovation to demonstrate in a clear way to all stakeholders that it was actually achieving the goal of increasing immunization in rural northern Nigeria. And I keep saying rural northern Nigeria so that for most those of us that are not in Nigeria and don't have the context, These are villages, migrant communities without power, without pipe-borne water, without education, and they constitute a significant component of the population, vulnerable components of the population that could easily be left out or neglected in development indices and life in general, right? And so the question was, what technological solution could we deploy? And that was the developmental challenge that my startup decided to focus on in 2015. And so we built a software that, okay, like I think it would be best to contextualize it this way. In our visits to the communities, we realized that for religious and traditional reasons, these communities had to go out 5 times a day for prayer. And it struck us as a team that it wasn't necessarily because they couldn't come to the healthcare facility that they weren't showing up. It was something different. They just weren't going to the hospitals. And when we interacted with the communities after a while, we realized that there's a fundamental assumption in vaccination programs in general. And it's a very profound one and very difficult to lay a finger on. But it's essentially the belief or the idea or notion of germ cell theory of disease. The idea being that there is a microorganism, which is the causative organism for sickness. And that to combat or stop sickness, you could take a series of injections to stop that microorganism from potentiating illness in a healthy individual. And as simple as that idea was, during our own evaluations, we realized that the germ cell theory of disease causation is not universal, despite our bias being exposed to Western education was. And so we designed a software that uses AI and that leverage certain components of behaviors in the traditional community and context of the intervention communities. And using our software, prior to our intervention, less than 3% of children were taken to the hospital. That is 3 out of 100. And the standard annual immunization visits were 6 minimum. And at the third visit, less than 40% of the 3 out of 100 that had shown up came to their third visit. And so after deploying our software, we realized 98% turnout, meaning that in these communities where people weren't coming out, 98% of children came up for 6 visits every year. I'm saying this story because it's very easy to be overwhelmed by the surfeit of these technologies that are emerging. Like Cosimo was saying, they are popping up like mushrooms. But I think there's a unique opportunity here for a number of reasons, but I will zone in on just 3. Our context in sub-Saharan Africa puts us at usually what is articulated as a great disadvantage in terms of technological development, education, perception, penetration into the global context and markets, and access to resources in general, right? And while I also understand that, I think that it also, our context gives us unique takes that are not locked into the historicity in Western economies. The technology solution that we deployed could only have come out of Africa. It could only have come out of a couple of young Nigerians in Sokoto State. Couldn't have come from anywhere. And I say that as somebody who has done quite a number of interesting projects around the world. It's the uniqueness that we have, the unique set of combination of challenges and constraints that are cardinal to us being innovative. And that's why using AI as tools in our development or in our engagement is supremely critical. And that leads me to the question that I wanted to ask, actually, because that was just a proviso, preface, as it were, to really why I'm here. How many of us on this call today has ever been occasioned to have an opportunity, a global opportunity, to scale our product, scale our career, or apply for a grant or any sort of opportunity, career or otherwise, on a global scale, and found that we were constrained by our environment or by our skill sets or by our lack of knowledge or by our lack of capacity to articulate our vision? If there's only 6 of us on this call that has experienced, because I have experienced, right? And I imagine that this is a unique challenge of young people in our context, especially in Nigeria and in sub-Saharan Africa as a whole. The AI tools are for you. They are for you. I love the way Cosmos made his presentation and illustrated AI's capacity to potentiate his vision. And I'm telling you that that's what these technologies are for. People complain about how the global playing field isn't level. Well, AI is a tool that can level it for you with very little investment in terms of taking time to learn these tools, and a number of these tools are free. So I think we are in a unique position actually to create very strange visions that the world hasn't seen, to deploy these technologies in unique ways to address unique challenges that many people globally don't even know that they have. Using the index example I talked about earlier in our deploying our solution, that solution ended up being deployed, interestingly, in Cosmos's country. I think Cosmos is from Italy. And that conversation extended to the Italian government, and in using the same technology in a similar format to address COVID-19 challenges in some remote, vulnerable populations in Italy. And so I'm charging you on this call, which is the fundamental request that the facilitators asked me to do. I'm charging you on this call. In any way you can, as quickly as you can, familiarize yourself with these tools, avail yourself of the resources that these tools bring to your fingertips. Cosmos said something that intrigued me profoundly, and that was a question I wanted to ask him, and I would love a response if he's still on the call. He said he participated in 100 global competitions. So knowing that I have sisters and friends, and I was friends with quite a number of architects in my university days, because I used to hang out in their department a lot. How many competitions have you guys participated in? And is Cosmos willing to share a PDF list of these competitions? And are they open to Nigerians and Africans from sub-Saharan Africa? If yes, then some of these tools will help us potentiate the vision to become global players in the industry. Thank you very much. Over and out.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dr. Tosan. I'm just going to pick up from where you left off, and I'm going to ask Cosimo this question. These competitions, what's the price attached to it? Like when the ones you've won, what was the value, the monetary value of these competitions? And then how do you even sign up for the competitions? Where do you find these links to these competitions? Can I enter the competition as an individual? Must I have an organization? And then what's the monetary value really? Because I mean, everybody is here to make money at the end of the day. Do you want to chip in with that for us? Cosimo? There? Okay. So while we wait for Cosimo to, it's okay. While we wait for him to jump right back in. Okay, he's here now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had the internet go somehow glitching.
Did you hear the question though?
No, I haven't. Everything was frozen.
Okay, so the question is this. You said you have participated in over 100 competitions.
Yes.
How did you come about these competitions? Are they open to the general public? Can somebody from Africa apply as an individual? Must I apply as an organization? And then more importantly, what's the monetary value? How much did you win from the competitions that you've applied for?
Yeah, that's a very broad question. So the thing is, like, yeah, of course, when I was on my own with this friend of mine, we were applying for open competition. So everybody all across the globe could participated in. And obviously there are different prices depending on the size of the competition or simply the importance of the competition itself. Obviously, when you work for a big company, as I do, I mean, the competition they take part of are invited competition that like only big offices get invited to, with completely different amount of how to say, rewards, something that we cannot imagine as individuals, so to speak. But yeah, so out there in the world there are like many open competition, many.
But like how much in USD? How much?
Depends. There are competition that you can get 40, 50 grands. There are competition you can get like 2 or 3.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
So then that's why AI is important. I mean, the ability to visualize your dream in day zero when like there is 50 grands on stake, and that's a completely different story.
Amazing. Okay, so now we have come to the best part of this webinar, and this is where I get the singular honor to announce to everybody, whether one, whether two, as a team, as individuals. I know some other people are still in the valley of decision, trying to figure out, oh, what is Midjourney about? What is AI about? Our guest speaker today is a seasoned instructor. He's a tutor. He tutors for a university in Australia. He's with the Notify agency. He has tutored for parametric architecture. And so if you'll be interested, we have this fantastic offer for you to learn advanced Midjourney. And so this training is not just about to learn it, you're not just, it's going to be as in-depth as possible, as interactive as you can imagine. It's going to be a one-on-one. It's going to take you through it. We have enough time, enough months to plan and to prepare towards it. We have limited seats, I must add, and we have a 10% discount for the first 20 to register. All the details about this training is on the flyer that I've attached. And then we also have 2 packages. So you can either do the basic package or the professional package. And I'm just going to go through what each of these packages entail. So for the basic package, which is 135,000 Naira, is not up to $100. How much is $1 today? Can anybody tell me? $1 today, how much is it? I'm sure it's not up to $100 too. So you have 8 hours of Midjourney classes. So our tutor is going to take us on a weekend. It's going to be we're going to start from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you opt for the 135,000 Naira package, this is what you're going to get. 8 hours of Midjourney class. It's going to be intensive. It's going to be practical. You're going to submit a final project. You're going to have classwork. And then, like somebody asked whether Midjourney is free, you're going to get a month Midjourney subscription for free. And then after that, you're going to have the opportunity to still speak with the tutor after that, for after training support, career counseling, and mentorship. And then, of course, you're going to have access to the video recordings indefinitely. You paid for it, you're going to have it with you. And the opportunity this is going to give you is you now become a design leader in your space. So imagine you come, you learn, and then you take it to your school, your office, your organization, and then you get to train other people. Whatever you decide to charge for that, that's totally your call. And then we have the second package, which is the one I would recommend because it has more, it has more things attached to it. So you have everything offered in the FDC Basic, and then you have additional 2-month Midjourney subscription, so you can get to do more projects, more presentations, more conceptual designs. I mean, there is a story I give all the time when I'm talking about this, is that when we were graduating from college, when we're graduating from university, We didn't even have this opportunity. Nobody brought it to us. We had to search for it because we were that proactive and because we took the initiative for it. And I have colleagues who went to pay for 3ds Max. I think it was 120,000 naira back then. You know, they went to pay for it, and that was what they lived on after graduation. That was what they married on, and that was what they jackpot over. So if you're here and you're thinking about relocating to the United States, to Canada, to the UK, I'm telling you, this is a tool, this is a software that is necessary, that gives you that competitive edge. And even when you're coming into the landscape, you know, the professional practice in Nigeria right now, the competition is so stiff, you have to be bringing something additional to the table. And so AI is here to stay. It's not going to cost you anything. I know you might need time to plan, 150K with the increase in, you know, price of food, price of transportation. That's why we're giving you about 2 months to plan for this. And so when you're picking the FDC Premium, the FDC Professional Package, you get that additional 2-month Midjourney subscription. You get an extra course in corporate branding. Because what also happens is a lot of us, we don't even know how to use social media. Some of us are great, you know, we design very well on paper, but you don't even know how to sell yourself. You don't know how to put yourself out there. You know, you can be in Nigeria and you're getting contracts and projects as a freelancer from companies overseas. Because what AI has done is it has collapsed the distance. There's no more distance in the realm of AI. There's no distance in the realm of artificial intelligence. You can be seated in Lagos or in Shaki in Nigeria, and because you know how to Midjourney, you're having freelance projects and you're being paid in dollars because you already have that software knowledge. And so we're here to offer you this package. If you also want to go for the 150,000 naira package, we have the ebook, which is the A to Z of African interior design. You don't even want to know what this is about. It covers everything interior design: how to do your contracts, your agreements, your interior design styles, your interior design principles, real estate in Africa, the Green Council building of Africa, sustainable design, future cities. It covers everything, the A to Z of African interior design. And of course, we offer you the opportunity for professional portfolio development. So if you're struggling with your portfolio, you don't know how to, even if you're graduating, for example, how do you start employing, how do you start chasing employment, how do you start applying for jobs? We have a seasoned, you know, team of professionals to help you develop your portfolio. And then you have the exclusive opportunity to network with industry leaders globally and locally. So when I'm talking about globally, we have, you know, MVRDV is coming on board, you know, to help us and mentor, give us resources. We're also in the pipeline, you know, to reach out to other architects in Zaha Hadid, you know, and all these global experts. And so with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you, you know, to take this up to the next level, take this a notch up, do something that your future self will thank you for. And so if you check the Q&A section right about now, we have the link. You can take a look, you know, you can just go over the link, you know, look at the requirements, what it's going to entail. If you have any questions, you can also ask me right now. We're going to provide a certificate for everyone who delivers a final project. And so you're going to be certified as a Midjourney architect at the end of the training. Okay, so we have the link to this packages. And if you are a team, whether you're a business, you're an organization, and you want to have maybe 5, you want to send us 5 of your team members, we have a special package for such persons. So do well to message that number, dial that number, and then we'll take it up from there. Okay, I think we have successfully come to the end of this event. But before we round up, we have one more announcement. You don't want to miss this part. It's a very lovely announcement. It's something that we put together and that, you know, we just felt, oh, it's going to be very beneficial. So if you were part of the first 50 people that registered for this meeting, this next agenda, this next item on the agenda is for you. And I'm going to invite my wonderful colleague, Tolu Architect Adeyi, to take over from me. Over to you, Architect Adeyi.
All right. Thank you so much, Acted Bolola, for, it's been such an amazing time just listening, and participating in this webinar. Thank you, Cosimos. Thank you, Dr. Tosan. It's been such an enlightening process. So to jump really quick into it, we have a very, very, very amazing gift for the first 50 people who registered. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your proactiveness. And this has been put together by the Future Design Collaborative team. It's sort of a guidebook, a podcast guide for architects and designers. In this age and time, information is power. As designers, you have to keep up to date with what's going on around you, what's the world talking about, the limits, the things that used to limit us as global designers and global architects and interior designers. The world has collapsed. The internet has put everybody on, on a plane. So it's important that you have a guide and you are listening and you are communicating and you're sharing information with other designers around the world. So to help you do this, we've put together a guide, a podcast guide, that you can follow, that you can listen to at your leisure, that can help you, that can help you build capacity, help you build structure in your business, just such valuable information that we have for you. So it's my profound honor to present it but we'll be presenting only to the first 50 people at this time. So congratulations, you will receive an email shortly with this special gift. It's a soft copy document. So we hope you enjoy it and we hope it helps you be a better designer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then we also have, just to, add to what she has said, in case you're wondering what happens from now, what's the action plan, what do I do after this webinar? The first 50 people also get the opportunity to come onto the digital mentorship platform. You don't even have any idea of the amazing things that we have planned for everyone on the mentorship platform. You get to speak with architects like Cosimo, his colleagues, people who are at the forefront of artificial intelligence. And so if you're also signing up for the advanced classes, you're automatically onboarded on that mentorship platform. And so we're building a movement, we're building a team of designers who literally are coming to take over the world. So it doesn't matter what part of the world you're watching from or streaming from. When you sign up for these advanced classes, the value you're going to get, the opportunities that's going to open up to you is just enormous, just superb. And so if you were part of the first 50 to register for this webinar, check your email right about now. You have a gift courtesy of the organizers of this event. I've also put up a poll. I've just put up a poll asking the question that what is the likelihood? I mean, how likely are you, to sign up for the advanced classes? And I'm going to publish the result now. It's quite fascinating. I feel fulfilled. I feel like we have done something great, So 62% says they're very likely they're going to sign up for the advanced classes. 36% are neutral. And 2% say it's very unlikely. So I'm going to say that the 2% saying very unlikely, they are the ones who voted at the beginning that they are very familiar with Midjourney and they've already learned Midjourney. So if you are up for the sign up, take advantage of the discount, the 10% discount for the first 20. The seats are limited, really, because how many people can we really, take on at a go? We want it to be as interactive as possible, as much as possible. We want to make sure that you get value for money, value first. So even if you know someone who can benefit from this, even if you think, oh, I don't need this now, but you know someone who is at the brink of a major life decision, someone who is about to jackpot, someone who is about to migrate from one country to another. This is one certification, this is one training, this is one class that person do not want to miss. So I want to say a big thank you, big thank you to everyone who participated in this event, one way or the other, whether you shared the flyer, you shared the link, you know, you spoke to a friend, a colleague about this. Thank you so much. We were able to do this because you showed up. You know, you showed up and you showed all out. I mean, I've been watching the attendance from beginning to end, and I'm so amazed that you stayed till the very end. I mean, bravo. Well done. And so a recording of this webinar is going to come into your email in a few days. You just give us a few hours to tidy it up, and then we're going to share the recording with you so you can, you know, you can fall back on it, come back to it at any point in time. Thank you so much for the organizers of this webinar. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. Thank you so much, Dr. Tosan. Thank you, Architect Cosimo. Thank you to my very good colleague, Architect Adeyi, to the people behind the scenes, the administrators on YouTube and here. Thank you so much. Please check your emails from time to time. Apparently, we had 400 people sign up for this webinar, but you know, people are just not yet technologically savvy. You know, so people don't check their emails as often. So I want to congratulate you again, because you're one of the people who are staying ahead of the curve and, you know, staying ahead of the game. You're technologically savvy. You've been checking your emails. So even in the coming days, make sure you check your emails for all the lineup of events that we have. We have webinars coming up. We have community meetings coming up. We have networking sessions coming up. And so do yourself a favor and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a colleague about the Future Design Collaborative. And with that, we have come to the end of today's webinar. Thank you so much again for joining. I'm just going to share my screen to say thank you, and thank you. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now. Feel free to take your leave. Thank you so much again, and see you some other time.